What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and you check out the content, right? And so I want to speak on some comments that Shannon Sharpe made on his podcast about this Jeanie Buss situation with LeBron James. Basically, Shannon Sharpe is he's taking LeBron James' side, which that's cool, but I got some pushback. I want to push back on some of the things that he said because I think that look the way that Shannon Sharpe look at the situation is what in the first place is what got LeBron James into trouble in the first place. Like LeBron James is the kind of player who looks at he sees like what he does for his playing in the NBA is a favor to the NBA. Whereas though the owners think that he should have another look at it the other way, where he should have be honored to have played in the NBA. And so now, who's right in the situation? Like, should the player be honored to have had the opportunity to play in the NBA? I think so. Because everybody, there's nobody in the NBA, no player in the NBA or anybody that's not replaceable, right? That goes for anybody who has ever played in the NBA and anybody who will play in the future. I just think that everybody's replaceable. I just think that stars are, they are made, right? And so if the NBA choose to make LeBron James a star, he should have felt honored. That's just like hitting a lottery, for Michael Jordan, I thought like it was like hitting the lottery. So, people who don't know any better about sports would think that, all right, Michael Jordan was the best. And I'm a Michael Jordan fan. But I think that if Michael Jordan hadn't played in the NBA, they probably would have Clyde Drexler. You know what I mean? I like Clyde Drexler. I think Clyde Drexler could have been the face of the NBA. Like Magic and Bird was a face before Mike came. Isaiah was one of the faces, so I don't think that nobody is replaceable. But Shannon Sharpe thinks that, LeBron did so much for the NBA, which I don't. I just think that the NBA just, put LeBron on that pedestal, and LeBron didn't perform the way they needed him to. And so now LeBron James is starting to catch the backlash of that. The NBA is seeing that they're not going to make, they're not going to make that much money off of LeBron James the way they still making money off of Michael Jordan. They still like Kobe shoes. Kobe shoes is still selling, even after he has passed. Nike, they still making money off of Kobe. Not so much with LeBron. The LeBron is playing, and his unit, he's still not moving the units that Mike and Kobe is moving. So just imagine when LeBron step away from the league, out of sight, out of mind, unless he keeps some type of controversy going, But then it's still the sales is not going to still be the same as, what it was with Mike and Kobe and Magic. What's the other guy? Allen Iverson, like his tennis shoes. Those answers or AIs, man, I don't know. I think I might have like 3 or 4 of those, in my collection. And if they come out with new colors, man, I still buy them. I don't even wear them, but I just buy them just because Allen Iverson was one of my favorite basketball players. Allen Iverson hadn't been in the league in a while, man, but it's that emotional connection that players had with their fan base, man. Charles Barkley, those sneakers that Charles Barkley had. Like if Nike roll those out, they gonna move some units. They gonna move some units, man. But it's not like that with LeBron James, man. So. But let me get into what Shannon Sharpe said about the situation. I definitely want to push back on Shannon Sharpe, man, because I just disagree.
Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing. Lack of accountability for his role in bringing the former All-Star point guard to Los Angeles. We also have an update. Jeanie has now responded to the allegations. It's really not right, given all the great things LeBron has done for the Lakers and that he has poured into my family drama. To say it was he wasn't appreciated is just not true and completely unfair to him. Joe, Jeanie said he was appreciated, but she never report that it was a lie.
She did say it wasn't true. Now, whether she believes, she said it's not true. So, but I'm gonna let her continue.
She could have said that, you know what, Joe, this ain't true. Everything that this my family drama, she could have said that is a lie. She did not say that, Ocho and Joe. She said he's appreciated. Joe, take it away from here.
Hey, Joe, before you even go on, Joe go on, I got a question. Most of the time, when people of power in position of power and they run teams, they run clubs, this is how they really feel. This is how they really feel behind the scenes. They say things like this all the time, and they say it because they think it's not going to get out. And when it does get out, obviously not in this case, she doesn't apologize to say, I didn't say that, but this is how you really feel. Sometimes you don't like the way certain people act. You know, I mean, and it's okay to feel that way. I just don't understand why they do it, or why they always what's the word I'm looking for? Change their tune when the public sees how they really feel about certain individuals and the way they carry themselves. But go ahead, Joe.
I mean,
all right. So before Joe go, that was Ocho, right? And like I said, teams look at it differently from like the way players look at it, right? And saying like if I was working at Burger King, right? You know, I had I'm looking at it like, man, after all I did for y'all, you know, at Burger King, but Burger King looking at me like, we gave you a job. You know, you're compensated for the job that you do. So they look at it differently. Not saying that each one is wrong, but you like LeBron James have to look at it in a way. He got to see it the way the ownership see it. That way he could have avoided some of these issues that's coming up now, right? If he had taken, you know, I'm not saying bow down to people, but I'm just saying like, look at it as an honor, like what it really is for you to play in the NBA. You know, it's only every year you get 450 guys who play in the NBA out of millions of people who want that job. And so, yeah, you're very fortunate and it's an honor. So that's all I wanted to say about that part of it. But let me get back to what ISO Joe gonna say.
Talking Ocho, really, this doesn't surprise me. You know, I can imagine, you know, Bron having a, you know, pretty big ego, you know, out there in LA, and due to whatever, you know, disagreements they are having with him and Jeanie, I don't know, man, but it's just a lot of fishy stuff going on that I really can't understand right now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, he's done a lot for the Lakers, bro. Like, he is iconic.
All right, so he's iconic because the NBA put him on that stage, right? And that's what I don't get. You know, I don't get. And he said that I don't get it. You know, yeah, because nobody in the NBA is just unreplaceable.
You know what I mean? So I don't really know what's the pushback or what's the disagreements that he has with the Lakers, or even if any of this is even true. You know what I mean?
What happened is that there were some people that didn't like the way Jeanie handled things in that family.
Yeah.
Because what happened was all Jeanie, Jesse, the other one got fired.
Yeah.
She gets to stay on for another 5 years.
Yeah.
How's that fair, Ocho? Me, you, and Joe brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. The hierarchy, Joe gets left in charge. Me and you, Ocho, get fired. But Joe get to keep his job for another 5 years, but the team gets sold.
Right.
Hold on. Why didn't we all get to keep our job? So, Joe, why you get to stay on for 5 years? Ocho and I get fired. Why we couldn't keep our job title for another 5 years? Why only you?
Right.
You see what happens? Drunks, kid, and angry people will tell you the truth. These people were mad that Jeanie removed them.
Yeah.
Jeanie also said the other brothers didn't comment. But Jeanie said her father would not be pleased with the way this situation happened. Remember, we talked about it the other day, Ocho and Joe, that Steve Machado said he's selling the team before it ever gets to this point. He said because it'll rip a family apart.
Absolutely.
And I'd be damned if it's not playing out before you. Now, does LeBron have an ego? And I tell people this all the time. The greater the person, the bigger the ego.
Hello.
All right, so, and to me, like, the ego of the ball player is not even an issue, right? Like, you know, all those great athletes do have big egos, but you still have to perform. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think LeBron James just did enough to compensate, like, it's like having a diva wide receiver. They're going to keep you as long as you making plays. Like if you getting touchdowns and and the yards after catch, those diva wide receivers. But as soon as you lose a step, the organization don't really, and that's what the situation we going. So the ego thing with LeBron James, they can deal with that. They used to having, this family, the Buss family, have been, I think they own a team like since like 19 in the late 70s or something like that. So they've been dealing with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy. Like they had a lot of big egos in there for those years that they had this team. So ego is not the issue. Performance, that's the issue. Like if you can't perform and you're a diva in any sport, that's when they put that's when a bad bone come out.
Don't give a damn what line of work you're in.
Right.
Since we're talking about athletes, let's go to Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic. It does not matter. You talk about baseball players, talk about Barry Bonds, talk about Shohei, talk about Aaron Judge. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. Talk about Oprah, you talk about Tyler Perry. It does not matter. The greater the person, the bigger the ego.
True. My point again, you got to be useful though. You can't have a big ego and not be useful. You can't have a big ego and the organization can't make and capitalize off of your likeness and stuff like that, man. So LeBron James, he's just a lightning rod. Like I said, all those athletes that he just named, the greats that he just named, like Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, the leagues that they played in can continue to make money off of them even after those guys step off the field. LeBron James, they'll be able to make money off him. It's not like I'm saying that they're going to cut him off as soon as he quit, but it won't be to the level of what they was expecting because LeBron James, that fan base, LeBron James don't have that emotional connection to the fan base, whereas though these fan people are going to like had that nostalgic feeling about LeBron James when they think about him. It's just like an old R&B group. Like if you like Teddy Pendergrass or what's the guy name? Anybody who sang back in the day, Diana Ross or something like that, they are still marketable because they age and their fan base age, and then whoever control the rights to their music and stuff like that can remarket them to that fan base throughout history. As long as as long as that fan base is still around, you can still sell them Teddy Pendergrass. You can still sell them Diana Ross or Smokey Robinson or all those people back in the day who had those large followings, man. You can still market them, right? But Milli Vanilli, you're not really, you're not really selling a whole lot of Milli Vanilli records and stuff, So, and that's what this is, man. It's about money. It comes down to money. They don't care what your ego is because, like, powerful people, they say and do, they say some of the craziest stuff about each other, just like politicians. Like, they'll drag each other throughout the, like, if they running for president or something like that, they'll drag each other throughout the race. And then at the end of the race, like, if one person wins, they'll hire that other person. Like, Barack Obama hired the lady Hillary Clinton, but they was arch enemies throughout that time, right? So when it kind of ego and what you say to people, like those kind of people, whereas though like an ordinary dude like me, I might hold a grudge, but those people, it's just par for the course, man. So ego is just it didn't really if you're useful, then they'll find a place for you. And LeBron James, he's not as, like he is not as useful as like a lot of those guys who have been franchise ball players. Like he just not, he not marketable like that because of that fan base. And so, and he walked away with $1 billion on top of that, man. So hell yeah, she mad. The sponsors mad, NBA mad. And he, LeBron James is retiring from basketball and he damn near in the best shape of his life. Nobody has ever retired from basketball, baseball, football, and better shape than when they came into the sport. So yeah, man, he didn't leave it all out on the court, and they feel like, they feel that, and so they mad. So that's my take on it. I had to push back on Shannon Sharpe, man, because I just thought that Shannon Sharpe just kind of missed the point of or the reason why I think everybody's upset with LeBron James. So with that being said, y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm gonna check you all out in the next episode, next video. Peace.